Welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television. Of course, on the program today, we're looking at the liquefied petroleum gas option as a source of revenue earner for the country, as a way of providing the needed jobs and giving businesses to small and medium enterprises as well. It's a very big one. I've been having this conversation with the Nigeria Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association, Mr. Dayo Adishino, and the current chairman, technical committee of that association, that is the Nigeria Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association, and executive of the LPG Group, LCCI, Mr. Bambo Adimului. Thank you so much for sticking around. So, Mr. Adishino, let's start off from where we left off. Sure. We talked about how private sector collaboration should now begin to be looked at very closely and sort of take it away from every time it always has to be the government to run the business, the government to run the business. But how can the private sector collaboration really work?
Okay, let me go back to how you ended previously. It's a misconception to say you want government to run the LPG business. The LPG business today has consistently, the market has consistently moved with the private sector, pushing that from 70,000 tons in 2006 to 175,000 tons last year.
So they've always been there?
Private sector has always been there, and it's always been private that has led the way. In terms of levels of investments, the terminals, mostly private sector. Two of the biggest terminal in Lagos is 8,000 tons by now. It's private sector. NIPCO, 4,000 tons, private sector. Apart from that, O&O has invested heavily in cylinders, as has done several other of the association members. So consistently it's been private sector. What we need the government to do is to create an enabling environment. The tariff I spoke about is an area that they need to address. Awareness creation, I mean, we don't have the capacity to go around all the 36 states in terms of information dissemination. This can be done with NTA, with channels, with people like that. So we're saying, look, the federal government should create an enabling environment, look very closely at this sector, take the Indonesian model with a Nigerian approach, because who's the ultimate beneficiary? It's not just the people, the government themselves as well, because the tax revenues that can accrue to them and the employment generation that would come from adopting this model would be a plus for whoever implements it. We're not political. We just want government to say, yes, we are going to decrease what we're spending on kerosene subsidy, because really kerosene shouldn't have any pride of place in the household. It's a poisonous fume. I mean, it's supposed to be, that's it, generated with as aviation fuel and create better revenues for government. Who gets the kerosene subsidy at 50 naira? When was the last time anybody bought kerosene at 50 naira per litre? So for us, LPG is the way, and that, I mean, has always been the focus of the association. It's been private sector led. Government just needs to collaborate with us to give us this platform, an enabling environment to be able to actualize this goal.
So in following this Indonesian model, for instance, why, instead of going on a large scale, there's a possibility you might not achieve so much. The Lagos state government decided to, follow that model and see how much it has achieved. Why doesn't it happen on a state-by-state level? Why is it that you're looking at, hoping that, it's going to be on a much, much grander scale? Why shouldn't we do it, small and then grow large?
It will start on a smaller scale, because you don't need to focus on Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, areas that, I mean, it's the rural areas that you need to be able to focus. You need to go to Kirby, you need to be able to go to Saminaka, you need to be able to go to Owo, you need to be able to go to Ihiala, different places in the rural areas. Those are the places that we're targeting, not the urban areas, because really LPG is thriving in those places. People are aware, but you also need to sensitize people and let them know that the fears about LPG should be addressed. Sensitize them, educate them, let them know that there's an available fuel. if you go to Surulere today or Ikorodu, where the Lagos State scheme started, I mean, it started in Surulere and it's going around the 27 local government areas. And ask the akara seller there. She'll tell you how she's better off today using LPG from the kerosene that was affecting her lungs. She will be smelling. It won't even burn as fast as the LPG. So it would start on a small scale if adopted, but targeted at the rural areas before it goes on a grand scale.
Okay, so Mr. Ademili, for the for your group, for the group in LCCI, what steps are you going to ensure that we have more and more Nigerians beginning to look towards this viable option of not just a safe and healthy way of cooking, but also as a way to make money for themselves? Because from all Mr. Adesina said, it also seems as if the small and medium enterprises and micro, small and medium enterprises also have a very big role to play in this, and it can generate revenue for themselves.
Thank you very much. The LCCI model actually was developed to partner with Lagos State government as a pilot scheme, which I can say without fear of contradiction is a success, because it's demonstrated the fact that you can deploy many plants and you can actually get people to use LPG in the homes. But we need to now move further. We are already getting overtures from states, Ogun, Oyo, Oshun, and all that, and we're going to go there.
But how many jobs has it created?
Good. Each mini plant recruits at least 4 people. We plan 57 for Lagos State, so you can multiply that, and I think there are about 6 operational now. That is beyond those that are operating in filling stations, because we had the ones that are operating in filling stations, about 5 before we took off, and there are more now that are operating in filling stations, standard filling stations approved by DPR. So you need people to man those. That's one aspect. Some of the mini plants already have Marwa distributors. They come with their Marwas and pick the 6 kg and 3 kg cylinders from the homes and bring them in. They fill and take back. That Marwa man was not in existence a year ago, but today he has a motorboy. That's 2 people. We've taken off the streets per Marwa. And they're going to be all over the place, moving into the homes and picking up. Then there are more trucks, because just like Mr. Adesina said, when we started off our LPG drive in LCCI and NLPGA, we started at 70,000 metric tons per annum. Today we've done 175, and 2014, if we look at it, will be above 200 at the end of 2014. So there are more trucks on the road. I think we doubled the number of trucks.
600 now.
Yes. On the road. Those trucks have plants. We call them plant operators. We don't call them drivers, because they're actually moving around in a plant.
Mr. Ademili, I'm very sure that this conversation can't end today. So for these little successes that have been recorded, we will keep them. We'll take note of them, but we'll have this conversation again a couple of months from now, say 6 months from now, to see how much success has been recorded. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on the program this morning and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much.
Well, I've been speaking with the president of the NLPGA, that is the Nigeria Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association, Mr. Dayo Adesina, and the current chairman, technical committee of the NLPGA, and he's also an executive of the LPG group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Bambo Ademili. Both gentlemen share their thoughts with us on the liquefied petroleum gas option as a huge source of revenue earner for the country, as a means of creating jobs, just as Mr. Ademili actually pointed out. It seems as if that plan has actually started to stick with a lot of Nigerians. But thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us for being with us on the program this morning. Of course, the conversation continues online. Send in your thoughts and questions, and we'll be happy to respond to them. But that's the program for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Harriet Agbenyi.